So things are not all buttoned up nice and pretty in the Middle East. Shocker.
Do I
But
have
we
to go
had
there too? I mean,
Josh, the Viking Lord, shall be landing in his longship at Tel
Maybe you can
Aviv
do it, Josh.
shortly.
Maybe you can do it. Maybe that's why it hasn't been.
Go across the Mediterranean while you're there.
Oh,
All right.
All right, Eric, what you got?
So over the weekend, Trump posted some images of some massive protests taking place in Tel Aviv that are urging Netanyahu not to undo the Trump-backed peace deal with Hamas that we went over Friday on the show. Great segment on that if you want to check it out. You see these pictures here. These are protesters. It was organized by families of hostages from October 7th, which is we're heading on the 2-year anniversary tomorrow. Trump also reposted a rather on-the-nose reminder that Netanyahu drew the ire of his Arab neighbors in September last month when he attacked Qatar, basically unilaterally with no input from the U.S. Everyone was angry, including Trump, and so Trump reposts this story from the New York Times. Now, why did he do these things? Why are these posts so interesting? Well, on October 3rd, we had Hamas announcing that it was ready to return the hostages and meet about the 21-point peace deal that Trump had rolled out with Netanyahu on Monday. So that was October 3rd. And President Trump immediately called on Israel to stop the bombing of Gaza to clear the way for the release of hostages and the movement of civilians through the region. And again, the deal had included this hostage return, halt on all the bombings. The AP and Al Jazeera reported that the terrorist organization, so Hamas, had accepted two of the key proposals, namely they were going to free all the captives and hand over administration of the Gaza Strip to Palestinian technocrats, was the word Al Jazeera used.
Yeah, like to the board that Trump put forward and
right.
Yeah.
And Tony Blair apparently, but I'm getting away from the point.
Yeah, go for it.
So Hamas had asked for a meeting to go over all of the points on the plan, but Israel did not stop the bombing. According to reports, over 60 people in Gaza died between October 3rd, when Hamas said they were ready to negotiate or come to the table for the deal, and October 5th, when Trump posted these responses. 40 of them were in Gaza City, and Gazans are reporting that the Israeli attacks, in fact, intensified after Trump called for basically a ceasefire. So Rubio gets on. He had a great explanation. I thought that like this is the best shot we have at peace, and here's why it's so urgent. So we can
terrorists. We're not dealing with a political movement. We are dealing with killers and savages and terrorists. That's who we're dealing with. That said, what gives you hope here is that at least there now is a framework for how all this can come to an end and those hostages can be released. What gives you hope here is the fact that for the first time in this entire endeavor, you have the United Arab Emirates, you have Qatar, you have Saudi Arabia, you have Turkey, you have Egypt, you have Jordan, you have Indonesia, you have all these countries, the European countries, all lined up behind a plan and putting a tremendous amount of pressure to make it happen. And President Trump's the one that put that together. He put together this coalition pushing in the same direction with us to try to get this, not just the hostages released, but this thing resolved. So I understand the hope and the dread, because many of these hostage families have been living this for over 2 years, but they have seen other efforts in the past fail. They have seen efforts to release hostages that didn't include their loved ones. So we understand that, we do. And that's why everyone from the highest levels of our administration are so committed to getting this done. That's why even as I speak to you now, talks are ongoing between the mediators to create the conditions and the logistics so we can get those hostages out.
Right. And clearly the condition of getting hostages out would be that there's not bombs falling everywhere, would be sort of a baseline. It seems that the nub of the issue here is Axios is reporting that Trump and Netanyahu had a call after Hamas came back and said, okay, we're going to meet, we're going to release the hostages. And Trump insisting that Hamas this is a win, right? Like we're progressing, something's being done. Netanyahu comes and says, oh no, this is actually Hamas rejecting the plan because they didn't explicitly say yes to all 21 points. And apparently the conversation between Trump and Bibi Netanyahu became very heated. Quote, combative was another way it was described. Netanyahu argued Hamas's statement is a rejection of the plan. And Trump said, I don't know why you're always so effing negative. This is a win. Take it. So once again, Trump and Bibi not seeing eye to eye here. Jeez.
And Trump feels he's been so good to Netanyahu. Why are you giving me so much static?
Yeah.
Like, work with me on this one. So if anyone has a little leverage with him, it would definitely be Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when the entire Arab world, the Western world, and Pope Leo himself, I mean, all are like, this is great. We're moving towards peace. This is what we wanted. We want the hostages to be back. Take the win. And like, I promise, like, if you have any reservations about how this war has been conducted, and of course, like, we all want peace, I think at the end of the day should be the goal. Continued action to sabotage peace at this point in time, I just think there's going to be no appetite, no sympathy for it.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, do I trust that, the Hamas or Gaza is like, they're really legit on all these promises? No, I'm very skeptical. But let's at least try to move forward and like, don't sabotage it. It's almost like Netanyahu doesn't want the peace. He just wants to bulldoze the whole place.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you see the pictures of Trump posting on his social media, all the protesters who are against?
That was the first part of the section, Josh.
Oh yeah. Well, my thing glitched, so I don't know if I heard it.
All good.
Spanish internet is
Spanish
there,
time.
but not.
Yeah, Spanish time. Yeah.
No, I think it's an amazing time. So
yeah, amazing accomplishment. And I mean, we heard last week, and I'll put it out there, on Friday, I was like, I think the weakness in the plan is that we don't know how Hamas will respond. And I still stand by that. But we also don't know if Israel's going to uphold it either at this point. Because we also heard last week from the Minister of Finance in Israel. He was against the plan. Bibi Netanyahu is apparently not on board with this plan. And then we also had the Minister of Defense who was warning everyone to get out of Gaza City or they will be treated as military targets. So it's not just Hamas that we are questioning here. This is, like you said, doesn't seem like Bibi wants peace right now either. I'm like, at least get the hostages home. Like, let's at least get through the first 8 steps.
That's why. So the pictures of the protests, and there's been massive protests going on in Tel Aviv for years now at this point, are over the argument of the Israeli people that he actually isn't interested in getting the hostages home. They posture that way, but they found ways to basically prolong the war. And I'm not saying, is that my opinion or someone else's opinion? That's the opinion of these protesters, whether or not you disagree with them. And they have been very large. They've been mass scale, and they've been, we want our hostages home. That's our number one goal. We're not looking at anything else.
It does.
Yeah. I mean, he has corruption charges, and there's certainly a lot of internal Israeli politics going on. But I would just say, even to zoom out from the Israeli politics for a second, like, I think Pope Leo's correct. Like, it's really encouraging to take active steps towards peace. The United States is in a mediation position where we can actively work towards that. I think that it's just, everyone is so exhausted right now of just the constant bombing, the constant war. And it's like, if we can find, even if people back out, even if negotiators back out, like, this is a great comparison to say what's going on in Russia, Ukraine, or any global conflict at all. It's like, yes, a part of negotiation is the fact that some are not going to be in good faith, or that some people are going to back out. It reminds me a little bit of when Trump got really frustrated and said to the reporters, like, they've both been fighting for so long, they don't know what the F they're doing. Like, we are in a great position here in the United States to actively work towards peace and to enforce it, because we have the power to do so. Not many countries are really in that position. Mm-hmm. So I really hope to see some real steps forward here, because honestly, at the end of the day, both sides have suffered a lot. And I think the people of Gaza that have been kind of collectively punished for the terrible actions of Hamas, and currently are under their thumbs too. Like, I think of them, honestly. I think of the Catholics at the church. They're still going to mass on Sunday. It's really, their witness is super powerful. And so, yeah, I think what's unfortunate about all this is it gets really nasty, and a lot of the loudest agitators are online, but I actually think we probably agree on more than we disagree. Like, we want peace in the region as much as anyone else. I think everyone's kind of on board with that. So I really am curious. We'll be reporting on what continues to come, but I really appreciate the reporting with the Loop team. So our Loop news team has done a really fantastic job of kind of threading that needle of just getting you the proper information in a way that doesn't take sides or it gets too nasty. I've just really appreciated that personally as a resource to kind of navigate it. So highly recommend getting into the Loop. Go ahead and subscribe there. I know the people writing it, they do a fantastic job.